This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast.
All right, folks, this is Jonathan St. James, and once again, I'm with you with The Truth is Still Straight podcast. So apparently Sister Millie from the West Coast has been missing. Haven't heard from her. I did receive a ransom demand talking about pay the cash up if I want her released. And of course, unfortunately, Steve Harvey is taking the negotiations over for me. And Steve Harvey, what is your response to paying this ransom?
Oh, hell no.
There you have it, folks. So Sister Millie, you're gonna have to rescue yourself. All right. So, with no further ado, going to give a shout out to those who support and subscribe to the show. And those people are Pedro Falcone, Tatiana Cruz, Lee Jones, Tessie, Sister Millie from the West Coast, V, Mr. Wilkes, Mahir, Milton Gonzalez, Beverly Semple, Snotty, Reggie, Courtney, K-Law, RJ, Latoya, Shilia, Michael Thomas, Darrell Big G Galloway, Sam T, James Wilson, Tyrone Biggs, Terrence Meir, JD Whitelaw, Julian Flournoy, Kid Vegas 8402, Eric Jordan, Michael McCreary, Kenny Alpha, Jario, Kane Major, Kundalini Lee, special shout out, Marcus A. Morris, Heath, 313 Money Team, to Sean Howell, Steve Stowe, Marvin Banks, Anthony Perry, Nelson Fu, Luke Asaf, Be Minded, TM Rowland, Flavor Sweet, Eric Jordan, Glenn Isaac, Victor Griffin, Soapbox Willie, Steve Apoku, Ryan Lindeman, Jojo A Go, Big K 3695, Still Sharp and Still, Stefan, Plug 2, Chaos Angel, Thomas Ford, Gary Leonard, Fidel Castro, Frank Atong 4, Marcus Renton, Kunya, Z Almighty, Burundi, shall smile one day, special shout out, Joe Fit, Jonathan Hope, Corporate ENT, Dominic Volpe, Ten Lassie, Total Misdemeanor 75, Amajak, Showtime, Michael Ray, Michelle Carlisle, Sandra Jones, Cobra Clutch, Jay Wade, AMD Sutherland, Salah Aldine, No Edit Vlog Philippines, George Stewart, Jose Garcia, and Jane R. Leonard. Now, I know a couple of people follow me recently. Unfortunately, I've gotten zero notifications that you are subscribing to me. Shout me out. And I'll definitely shout you out. To all those people, I say thanks. All right, folks, you know what it's time for.
Oh, my.
It's time for Kevin Samuel's reaction. And this particular reaction is from the 420, not 420, but 420 episode of Instagram Live. And he's battling a 31-year-old boss chick. Not quite sure if she says chick, but I'm saying it. And we're going to start that right now. Let me get that party started. Get that volume going. Get that video started. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi.
How old are you?
31.
Okay, so why do you support this bad bitch boss chick energy?
Well, one from past experiences, and I've noted I adopt a
Boss B
where I'm an
mentality.
entrepreneur. I'm building 3 businesses in the vertical, and in my past don't match up to what I'm doing in life. It's one side.
What industry are you in?
Renewable energy.
So is it multi-level marketing?
I set up the platform that. Yeah.
MLMs?
No, one is just solar for residential and commercial. Then we sell our technology software, CRM for business.
Around these businesses, do you see them to be dominated by minorities?
No, I'm the only Black person and a woman.
Okay, so because there's when people say entrepreneur, this is why I don't just use entrepreneur. Entrepreneur can mean almost anything. So many entrepreneurs under 30 with no track record of success don't even have 5 years of track record. So I don't know what it means. That's my thing. You say you got 3 businesses.
Yes, I did.
You finished?
No.
Doesn't matter. I'm just asking.
No.
Okay. And you saying you find it hard for guys to meet guys on your level? Is that
Right.
what I heard?
Yes, I'm having trouble finding a guy who can actually keep up with my pace as far as work ethic. I'm running into guys that have no.
Oh, no, he didn't. Miss Patient?
All right. So first of all, what's going on with her eyes? Why she got them all open like that, like they're about to pop out her head? I'm just trying to figure it out. And lady, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. Let's continue.
Okay. And where you? Okay.
Yeah, they are. Some are on the black market, and then
The
I
what?
find some
Right.
On the black market?
the drug business, I guess, if you want to
Yeah,
call it.
as more as I do these focus groups, the more I sit down with black women, the more I'm starting to hear scammer. Just the same. Makes no sense.
That's facts.
They're all entrepreneurs. It just don't.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because
It sounds like really
don't
she
you
just
have a bag?
trying to push Kevin's buttons because you came in talking about you a boss bee, and now you're just talking reckless. I don't know if this is real or she just really coming on here trolling Kevin. Let me play some more, but it's definitely starting off to sound like a troll to me.
I sit down with other races of women, they're repulsed by dudes who do illegal shit. Y'all just look at the money. There's supposed to be a difference. The guy who's an accountant versus the guy who's a drug dealer, he's like, well, fuck it, one's legal. One can has a future and one doesn't.
That's
So
true.
let's just assume that you are what you say you are. Why can't you date the choreologists? Why can't you get those guys?
I do run into those guys, and right now, I'm finding synergy. I'm having a problem in what they have going on, but on a personal level, it's not clicking.
Yeah, it's still, I ask you why you can't get them, not why. No. See,
there she go, moving that goalpost. She's starting to sound like my man Charlie Brown when he's missing the football. Because here's the thing. You just finished saying you can't get them. You only getting this type. But now you said I get them. This is typical of a lot of the women that call and speak to Kevin. They're moving those goalposts. And then they just waste his time. And
one eternity later,
they don't get to the point and he gets frustrated. And then he tells them,
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
all right, let's continue.
big disconnect is you keep talking about men that don't qualify for you. I'm talking about men you want. Why can't you get them?
Right. I don't have time to go out and.
Well, if you got time to deal with men who don't qualify for you, you have time to deal with men who do. Hold on, man. Hold on. On synergy, that's time. Time doesn't care where you put it. Why not put it with the caliber of men you want? The question is, can you get their attention?
Message.
I sure can. And what I'm
Then
telling
whoa. Then if you
right,
can,
then why haven't you done it?
Why are you choosing to not deal with these guys? You're dealing with these guys.
right now, I'm not dealing with anybody because I was.
It's not what I asked. Well, because I'm running my show and I'm going to do it. If there's a problem, you can leave.
The problem with this lady here is I think she's trolling Kevin, especially with the eyeballs popping out like 3D on her face. But here's the thing. You sit up here and you say you can get everything you want, but why haven't you got what you wanted? And that's the point that he's trying to make to you. If you can get this guy that you talk about you can't find, but you haven't found him, you're blaming this on not wanting to. So then if that was the case when you were looking, why didn't you find him then? So this conversation is very weird to me. And if I had to say anything about the matter, I would definitely be like,
you stupid.
All right, let's continue.
But how can you understand?
Because I'm running my show and I'm directing this conversation. I'm trying to get to the root of. I just simply ask you, man, because you're making it seem like the guys aren't on your level. Granted, but there are men that you want. The men are above your level. I asked you, why can't you get with these men? And you said because of time. And I said, I meant to men that are on your level.
That's facts.
And what I did tell you is right now I've been on a hiatus because time for anything, even the latter on both sides of the spectrum.
So when you get to be 60 years old on this bad bitch boss energy, what does your familial and social life look like?
He said, what would it look like? Right.
Fast forward to 60 years old, what does it look like?
I'm considering I'll probably have to buy my husband or just buy my phone at that time and just enjoy life.
Buy your what? Buy your phone? Women who stay on this track end up alone and they got to buy men.
Facts.
long as you know what's coming up with
Homosexuals.
it.
Yes.
As long as you know what comes up with it, that's what you end up with. You end up with subpar men. Is the payoff worth that?
Nah, B.
Right now, I'll find the time.
No. Meaning, whatever you're doing right now, you know, are you making subpar men, and in the future having to buy substandard men? I mean, are you making millions, hundreds and hundreds of thousands?
Yes.
Nah, B.
Hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
Yep.
I'm
As long
calling
as you're happy
super
with it.
cap. And here's why. She said
No
renewable
cap.
energy, and she's making hundreds of thousands a year. No way you can be making hundreds of thousands a year, because the way that that program is designed, one house wouldn't even give you hundreds of thousands a year. So you know how. So all right, let's do the math here. Let's say every project, because I know something about this renewable energy. So you're trying to say all you know how many homes you'd have to do to clear at least 100,000 in solar panels. You'd have to do quite a bit of homes, because you don't make money. The money is not in the upfront cost. You're gonna pay a few $1,000s, I think. Let's say $5,000-$6,000 for the initial install. And then there's like these payment plans. You'd have to be doing a lot of homes to get that kind of money out of renewable energy. I know, because I've done the survey in my home about that. And let me tell you something, that takes a lot. And I know people who do it for a living, and they're not making hundreds of thousands. I can't speak to the other companies. They weren't very clear to me on what they did in those companies, but definitely not believable to me.
Because
how would you recommend I find that man?
they don't want you. They don't want boss bitches. They want women who are agreeable. They want women who understand how to support. You're like, guys like that will work with you if there's money in it. Some of them may even decide to sleep with you, but no,
That's
they
true.
want women who are completely out. Bitch is disagreeable by
That's
nature.
right.
Well, I don't
That,
boss
but
bitch.
men don't want disagreeable women, or women who are. And this is another word that we can. Women, we really need to say men don't want aggressive. So
Aggressive.
the men that are up there, they want feminine women. That's the only way to get those men's attention.
Well, what in the times that we live in, we have so many women who have to work for self, take care of self, but to be a boss bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna destroy that whole argument tomorrow night. That's bullshit. I'm gonna completely destroy that.
Okay. Now we had this discussion, and I got into this big debate with somebody, and I was like, dude, I can't rock with you. I gotta block you because you just straight trolling. Again, what happened is, see, society has created this propaganda that women have to work to take care of themselves. But the problem here is, this is a double-edged sword, because on one end, you telling women don't settle down. Settling down means not settling for a man. It means getting married, being serious with a guy at a certain age. It means get your career, all these other things. So when they say that, this creates the atmosphere that she's talking about, where now women have to work because, one, you're not a relationship oriented. So if you're not relationship oriented, when somebody comes around, it's not going to work out, and you're not going to be able to leave your home, which historically women have done. Women have left their homes to go join their husbands and start a family, so forth. And that can't happen now, because that's been interrupted by saying, get your bag, right? Get your bag. And women getting their bag, but getting their bag is not getting bags in relationships. So, of course, when you're not getting your bag in relationship, this is how everything ends up. Let's continue.
To the argument, I said it Monday night. I'm going to completely obliterate that bullshit. It's a
That is
choice
true.
you all make.
So
That's true.
It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You decide to go down a road and then lament the fact that you have to be independent and compete. Whereas women who choose to prioritize relationship, family, higher than being money, those two women are existing. That's how the Hispanic community has supplanted the black over business. And they got more business and family than we do in less than 50 years.
you're right.
So
I'm going to say there's some truth to what he's saying. there's an organization that I'm a part of. I won't really divulge it online, but it's been around for a very long time. And there was a time where it was majority whites, meaning Italians and other Europeans, such as Irish and, whatever, Anglo and stuff like that. And then after that, in this organization, the African Americans came up and started being prominent within the organization. But times pass. And the Dominicans, I'm going to say Dominicans because it's really that group. The Dominicans are primarily and secondary the Hispanics. They have been taking over the organization. I mean, with good planning, good action, activity, support from their members and stuff like that. It's really, really so. What he's saying, I get what he's saying. And it makes a lot of sense because this is definitely going on. I'm not sure why the African American security community hasn't stepped up over the last, especially over here in the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut area. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but here it seems a little stagnant. They could be doing more and bringing the community together and becoming even more successful as a community and not individuals or a small group of the community.
Tomorrow, tune in. Because you just gave me the perfect lead. I'm going to completely destroy this with facts. Told that this is what you should do. Go out and put career, job first. Then when that's done, go out and get a man.
But with no family and no support, and all you're doing is working for self. I don't have time to sit there and
What's the question?
Yeah.
Okay. What did your mother raise you to be
No.
a wife?
No, my mother had me at 14.
Okay, well then that's probably part of the reason why.
I agree.
You have to live in New York. You don't see the question. You ask the question. First I asked, were you raised to be a wife? The answer is no. Okay, fine. So opposite. Then you're in a rough and tumble city. I tell you to leave New York to go where the cost of living may be lower. It is not as aggressive, but you don't want to. And that's part of the problem. What are you willing to give up to get what it is? What is money? What is money?
Who told you that?
So now I'm calling very big time cap. Solar panel in New York. I don't think so.
Hey, you there.
She is definitely embellishing on whatever she has going on there. I'm just saying, I just know a lot of people who are in the solar energy and industry, and it's not bowling like that. Maybe at one point it will be, but she's capping individually because, like I said, in all the people that I know that do it, nobody is producing those kind of numbers.
Whatever you like.
Exactly. Let's continue.
Life, freedom.
That's bullshit. Money is a tool. You can't hug money. COVID should have told you one thing. Money didn't go get water and toilet paper for you. So many of you so-called money takes ain't really getting no real money. You get more than minimum wage, but you ain't getting millions.
I'm making way more than minimum wage.
Well, you're in New York too, so it's also 245% of the cost of living. So do respect the $8,000. I seem to get a show where I'm attracting all of the black women in general, black women in particular, who are entrepreneurs and making six figures. I call bullshit on most of them. And here's the net of it. Why does that not prohibit other accomplished, entrepreneurial, working, educated women of other races from getting in?
That's right.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Well,
the CEO of Pepsi, when she went home to submit to her husband, the women every day who have more education make more money who still
all that money and bad Wi-Fi. That's all I'm saying. All that money and bad Wi-Fi. So clearly she's tripped up there and doesn't really know what to say. And he's right. He's right. A lot of people know how to do it in other races and ethnic cultures. They know how to do these things because they understand there's a necessity for relationships, depending on what your ideologies in life, especially when it comes to creating families. Got to have some type of setup if you want to have kids and be married. So if you're a high wage earner, and the majority of the men that you're attracted to or you attract are not in that field where they can be the high wage earner, then you're going to have to compromise on what type of man you're interested in. And definitely have to have a philosophy of life, which is just going to be married, no kids, married with kids, living in a house, things like that. And it sounds like she really doesn't comprehend those points that he's trying to make to her.
Most of those women, before they even became into the roles of power that they have with the families they have, a lot of their prospects they found in high schools.
Sure.
That's how
So you weren't around then in high school?
Yeah,
Right.
of course I was. And my child.
So you were around. Excuse me. So you were around prospects.
That's facts.
Man, you just said you weren't talking
That's
to your
facts.
wife. That's the difference.
You and Beyonce.
It doesn't make me, in a sense, that I can't learn.
Don't get up. Okay, this is one thing that trips me out with you ladies. You ask the question and I give you the answer. So you're supposed to accept the fact that you were in a deficit. Are you as accomplished in your personal life as in your professional life? Then fix it. You need summer school for men. You need a remedial man. You flunked husband.
Wow.
Get a tutor, take some of that money you making and put it into relationships. Because with your 401k, and your insurance and your investment accounts ain't gonna change your diaper or give you your insulin or put your teeth in when you're 72.
Whatever you like.
That's all I have to say
Whatever
about
you
it.
like.
Let's continue.
So how do
Other women seem to recognize that family matters and men matter more than just an orgasm.
That's a fact. And I'm not one that necessarily need a man.
The problem is, the original sin here is baby boomers and Generation X
So
taught
true.
you how to be independent.
Yep. Independent, don't get an education, don't depend on a man, don't settle down, enjoy life, travel, all these things, all the stuff that keeps you from finding true love. Let's put it as true love, not necessarily relationship, because you can get into 1,000,001 of those, but a true emotion and feeling that the person has to you and you have towards the other person where monogamy is involved and being thoughtful of the other person occurs and stuff like that. So I think that's what he's trying to explain to her, but she seems to not want to get out of convenience. I'm sure she doesn't want to be the bad guy in this matter, but it is what it is.
It's really to be a man.
Facts.
Well, I was the man in the house growing up.
That's true.
Blame your mama. You should. And see, the thing is, if daddy wasn't there, we are okay to blame daddy for not being there. But we don't want to blame mama. It shouldn't have been that way. Prior to 1965, in the black community, we were married at 80% rate. We didn't make babies out of wedlock. We actually chose one person, decided to stick with them, and worked together. Now we got a bunch of women who are working for self.
That's true.
And then you wonder why you end up alone, because you were raised to be independent. Huh?
So how do you like that? What would you? How do you help with that besides just telling me to go to school?
Well, since you can't tell them this.
Ever since I was born, I've been trained to serve you.
Since you can't tell them that because you're in no condition to say that, you definitely got to be more kind, more friendly, and outgoing to men that you may be potentially interested in. Just can't play these games out here. That's just straight up.
Well, first of all, a couple of things. One,
me too.
I'm a big believer in therapy. Number one, skills. If you wanted to be an attorney, you'd have to go to law school.
That's fact.
Yes. Okay. Here's a question. How much money are you prepared to invest in a 12-month period to get a baby?
Good point.
I would start at $5,000.
Better than most, but that's still kind of low, man. I'm gonna tell you why. That's $400 a month.
That's fact.
Due respect, man. If you're dating somebody, you go out 3 or 4 times, they just spent well over that. New York, you just go to Ocean Palmer Mastros, and that's $150. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is, if I were dating you and we were dating in New York, every date would be $150, $200 without Uber. And all you're willing to put in is $400 a month to learn what you need to be next to me. But for me, I gotta.
That's true, and that's what a lot of times what they talk about when it comes to these relationship dynamics is you're asking a lot of the guy before he even gets through the door. He has to have something to qualify you, even to be interested or to give him the time of day. But the reality of the truth, as I want to say in reverse, is that you're failing the social process. And you can't look at things and be like, this is how I feel. So I'm going to react according to how I feel. So you really got to have a game plan that makes sense in the general scheme of life and stick to it as much as possible, because you end up in these situations and never know how you even got there.
Don't nobody have to spend money with me. You got to spend time.
It's called dating.
I would do whatever it takes.
Outrageous.
Okay. So to the audience, you think your pussy is worth more than
That's
my
facts.
You think your time is worth more than my commitment. And I'm sorry, there are far more of you than there are
That
of
is
you
true.
over here. You got to earn the dick. You got to damn sure earn the high value little dick energy. That
Let me tell you.
Keep telling these guys have.
Yeah, she's lost. I'm just saying. This video is almost over. I'm just gonna let you know. So I'm gonna try to let her close it out and then comment at the end.
Little dick energy, you got to earn all of it. Yep. You got to earn the high value little dick. Yep, that's what you got to do. Other women seem to understand that if you want a man, you earn it with your fitness, your friendliness, your cooperative, your submissiveness, your ability to get along, your ability to cater to it. You do all of that up front ahead of the time, and you are easy to get along. You're easy. You're easy like a Sunday morning to be with. See, others are like, well, he got it. I'm the queen. Queen, ain't no queen without no king.
That's facts.
I don't have that type of energy. I'm just.
I know. I'm talking not to you. I'm talking through you. But at the end of the day, what the issue is there is, if I snap my fingers and made a wife school, and if I put $20,000 on it for 12 months, would you go?
I would.
That's true.
I
If I
said
said $20,000 in a year, okay, I'm just saying. But that's the thing, that etiquette classes, all these things cost. Basically, what I'm trying to get you to understand is cost. And women, especially in our community, are okay for graduate school, going into debt, for all kinds of things. But the notion of going into debt to learn how to do relationships tends to be repulsive.
I say that all the time.
They think men should be free and that they're the prize. And here's the thing: no one's going to dispel you of this, because the economy makes more money off of you being over there.
All right, so I want to. Where do I start then?
Leave New York, dead ass. Leave New York. I'm dead ass serious. New York is not a good place to find a.
True.
First of all, it's
5'7".
dress size.
12.
Dress size.
8.
Smaller than I thought.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself? 75. Well, I would say that one, New York is an aggressive environment. I'm not kidding. Two, dress size 4'6". All these things. Where your feminine skills.
Mm-hmm.
You got a cookbook?
No. She ain't got no cookbook.
I had a
that cheap Wi-Fi for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh.
She need a sign language interpreter.
Well, so this is what I would say to the audience: learn, even if you have all those skills, ma'am, your image, your appearance comes off masculine, and that means you got to deal with that too.
Very masculine.
I'm not kidding. I've had people who run wife schools, run these kind of things. I've talked to people many times behind the scenes. They're like, a lot of these women are going to need about 5 to 7 years of intensive work.
That I could pay you for?
Consultation.
To go to wife school? They're not in this country. But I don't do referrals. I don't do referrals for free. But here's the thing.
Oh Lord.
Go to etiquette classes or finishing school. Start with that.
That ain't gonna work.
Start with things around. If you're in New York and you're serious, especially if you're in Manhattan, anything that would help you get into public speaking. I'm talking about interactions.
Keep bugging.
What clubs are you a part of? Not Toastmasters. Are you part of like the Pyramid Club? Are you in the country? There's not a lot of golf in Manhattan.
In the outer boroughs.
Country clubs. What do you do? What's your philanthropic? Plenty of etiquette classes. There's adult finishing school.
That's true.
All these things that you can go to. There's the new school that teaches some of this stuff.
I went to the new school.
You may not like her, but Anna Bay, School of Affluence. I'll talk about how she basically talks about how she transformed herself from a Russian yacht girl to a society woman. But it's a process. It's a process, and like anything else, it's going to require an investment. But I got to get on to line.
That was a good one. So we're going to leave it there, and we're going to close out. So let me bring it back to me. All right, folks. You know what time it is. It is time for Liberacies. Relationship races. Bringing hearts together, one heart at a time. 31-year-old boss itch from New York City. What can you possibly do to meet that Mr. Somebody and take it to the next level for love, marriage, and possibly a family? All right, here it is. I'm just going to keep it real with you. First of all, you got to get rid of that boss chick mentality. I almost did it. That boss chick mentality. Got to humble yourself for the relationship. Make yourself available to those who you're interested in for a relationship, even if they choose not to. Just got to be in the option of not being interested, but do it in a tasteful and respectful way that a man will honor your presence in his life. And that's really the point of the matter. When it comes down to it, is you can't just be running around like, I'm just going to be this, I'm just going to be this, and people's just going to accept it just because you this way. It's not how life works. I can't go up to a woman and I can't be any way that I feel, and then she's going to be cool with that. So that's the same thing with a man. If you're not finding ones that's suitable to you, that's because you haven't been suitable to them. And those are the braces. All right, folks. So you know what it is. It's that time. It's the end of the show. Again, thank you everyone for your support. It is Jonathan St. James. And once again, it is the Truth is Still Straight podcast. I am out.